It all comes back to Fani and her boyfriend, Nathan, okay? Fani Willis is the DA who waged this case, and she hired Nathan Wade, a special hire. Nobody could figure out why. He had no business prosecuting the case. They gave him $600,000 over a 2-year time frame, and it turns out, yeah, she's the it's a boyfriend-girlfriend situation. I mean, 2,000 phone calls during an 11-month period, 12,000 text messages, all in 2021. Now, it's important for them to establish that the romance did not happen until 2022, until after he was hired. The thing is, if Fani Willis was she pursuing justice, or was she pursuing, having fun with her boyfriend? It looks like she was pursuing fun with the boyfriend. I mean, it's totally and completely obvious that they're not being straight with us.
Prior to November of 2021, in November of 2021, I hired him. I do not consider our relationship to have become romantic until early of 2022.
When did your romantic relationship with Miss Willis begin?
2022.
When in 2022?
Early 2022.
Well, they tried to get their story straight, but you just saw in 2021, 12,000 text messages. And this little item, this is code for, this is millennial code for hooking up. Check it out.
From at least 2020, me and Mr. Wade were friends. At least that time period.
Okay, I'm not talking about...
So no, I want to be clear because my credibility is being evaluated here, right? We were friends. We hung out prior to November of 2021.
They hung out, you get it? It's a thing, all right? They were romantically involved. Maybe it was casual, but they were hooking up before he got hired. Now, what difference does this make at this point? We know that she's not waging a kosher case here. What is the judge waiting for? He should fire these people or possibly throw out the entire case. The judge is weak.
Judge, he doesn't remember much of anything right now, and so I'm trying to create a timeline to hopefully piece this together.
All right, well, I'm not seeing really the likelihood that that's going to have any success. I'll let you ask a few more questions, but if he doesn't have a date, then I don't know that you're going to be able to create one today.
All right, that's Judge McAfee. These proceedings were on every single cable news channel in America today, hours and hours and hours of this stuff. He should know by now that the whole damn thing is a sham. People need to be fired or at least removed. He reminds me of Judge Ito. Judge Ito, remember, during the O.J. Simpson case? Yeah, what a mess. That guy wanted that thing to go on forever. Back to today, though. Terrence Bradley is the attorney. Now, what they're trying to get him to say, give him more details, give the court more details about what his client told him about dating Fani Willis. That's the I have a problem with this, to be honest. I thought the attorney-client privilege was supposed to be like sacrosanct, right? I mean, just like, protects confidential communications between lawyer and client that relate to the client seek. I mean, there are murderers, right, who get a lawyer and they tell their lawyer, yeah, I did it, but you got to get me off. And we're kind of blowing this thing wide open. I don't like it when it happens to my enemies, because I don't like it when it happens to my friends. August 8th, 2022, Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago raided by the FBI. You know what happened in the lead up to that? They got a lawyer of Trump. They threatened him and they said, you got to talk to us. You got to talk to the feds about your client and what that client told you. Yeah. Hey, for the record, Joe Biden was incredibly reckless with the classified documents. Donald Trump put them on a stage, and he had every right to them. He took precious care. But I want people to understand that federal prosecutors coerced an attorney of Donald Trump to talk to them about what Donald Trump said. It's in the indictment. On May 23rd of 2022, Trump met with Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 2 at the Mar-a-Lago Club to discuss the response to the May 11th subpoena. You know what? That's between the lawyer and the client. It's not the government's business. Next, it's throughout the indictment. Violation of attorney-client privilege. Trump, in sum and substance, made the following statements, among others, as memorialized by Trump Attorney 1. Whatever Trump said, that was between him and his lawyer. It's crazy. Murderers, they respect the attorney-client privilege. There's more of this in this crazy indictment. After Trump Attorney 1 confirmed that he was finished with his search of the storage room, Trump asked, "Did you find anything? Is it bad? Good?" Why do we know this? How was Jack Smith able to get this stuff? One more. Yeah, Trump and Trump Attorney 1 then discussed what to do with the Redwell folder containing documents with classification marking. How did they make this happen? They are ruining our country and throwing out the most kind of basic things that apply to American life. And one of them is attorney-client privilege. All right, one more thing. Rachel Maddow. The left loves this woman. Out of curiosity last night, I had some time. I watched. I don't understand the appeal.
To hurt the Democratic candidate who is running against Trump. Only this time, of course, there's a big new assist. That's our stance as a country. The stance Republicans, frankly, seem quite receptive both to that election interference and to what Russia wants them to do in cutting off Ukraine. How does that turn around?
She has this thing where she makes these long pauses. So you think that what she just said was really deep and important, when it really wasn't. And she did do this, though. She made the choice pretty clear to all of us what this election is all about.
These were adjacent headlines in the Washington Post last week. Biden administration cancels $1.2 billion in student loans with new repayment plan. Right next to Trump and allies planning militarized mass deportations, detention camps. Right? That's the choice, right? Right? Relief from high student loans or using the military to lock up millions of people in huge new camps. Adjacent headlines in the Washington Post on the same day.
That's one way to look at it. I look at it as one is socialism, for giving loans for people who actually took out those loans, the government getting involved, and getting tough with our immigration crisis. That just might save the country. Rachel Maddow, for her troubles, by the way, is paid something like $576,000 per week. Wow, for all that fake news. I'll be right back.